So, Brandon, let's kick off the conversation with you. What does this latest move by the Jets say about the current state of the Jets organization, of the whole franchise?
Yeah, I mean, what is this, a new episode in Jet TV? I want to go back to when I was traded to New York. There was a lot of talk about, it's a circus. And when I got there, it was awesome inside that building. The service that they delivered and how they took care of their players. So I think there's a lot of outside perception that's not necessarily true internally. But now looking at this situation the last 2 years, you got to think, is this what everybody was talking about? Right? This reminds me of the second coming of Rich Kotite. Like, is this that era? Is it that bad?
It's worse.
Think about this. Like, LeVeon Bell has been there for almost 2 years, and he's never had a good game. One game. And this is one of the most premier backs in all of NFL. So, to me, this is the second coming of the Rich Kotite era. This is really, really bad, and it's showing you that nobody in that organization is bad. It was doomed from the beginning. McCagan brought him in, and Gates didn't want him, and it was never a good fit.
Nope. All right, Brandon, I hate to do this to you. I apologize. Kevin Wildes, I got a quick question for you. The Jets treated Brandon so well, he wouldn't play for them for how much money?
I think it's $2 million.
It was $10 million. It was $10 million. Brandon told his agent. Yeah, Brandon told his agent, and tell him to keep that $10 million. I'll go literally anywhere else. And here's the thing. Since then, it's only gotten worse. There is one person related to the Jets who this morning and this year looks brilliant. And that person is C.J. Mosley. Because C.J. Mosley looked around and said, you know what? I'm going to sit this year out. I know I got a bunch of money to make, but I'll make that next year. I'm going to go ahead and watch this year from home. And I just looked at the Jets' schedule, and they max out at 1 win. Their best-case scenario is 1-15, looking at the rest of the way. And they better find a way to beat Miami, which I don't know if they can, or else that's an 0-16 team written all over it. They have the worst coach in the league. They have the worst offense in the league. It's a disaster, and they never, and Brandon nailed it, Wildes, the moment they signed Le'Veon Bell, they seemed to start a feud with him. It's like the moment he got there, why are you here? Well, you invited me here. No, I didn't. Well, I just signed the contract. Get out. We've been waiting for this to happen since seemingly well before he was bowling the night before a game when he was ruled out with the flu. It's just a disastrous match, Wildes.
I forgot about the bowling story, Bowling Gate. Look, there's some criticism that should have waited
That was
longer.
his best game with the Jets, Wildes. The 251 bowling. It was his best game with the Jets.
I forgot about that. Look, there's some criticism that they should have waited longer, like maybe another running back would go down and they would find a new trade partner. They should have taken this earlier. Because once a relationship gets to the stage where you start liking tweets, you're in a bad spot. So the other day he started liking, as much as I hate the idea, the Jets should trade Le'Veon Bell. Liked by Le'Veon Bell. Hey, the Jets should trade Le'Veon Bell. I love the guy, but I'm tired of Gase. Liked by Le'Veon Bell. The usage of Le'Veon Bell is inexcusable. Liked by Le'Veon Bell. So, look, he knew he was on the trade market, but once it got to this point, Joe Douglas was like, that's it. You know, you've never had a good game here, but the tweet liking is too much, Jenna. You gotta go.
So,
all right, well, clearly Bell feels like he's got much more in the tank. You saw his tweet. So where does he go? Well, Fox Bet, believe it or not, had the Steelers as favorites to trade for L. Bell before his release. I mean, it's an enticing possibility. He certainly knows the system. Tomlin certainly knows how to play him. Brandon, would it make sense for the Steelers to bring Le'Veon Bell back? He did sit out that whole year. There was clearly animosity there between the two sides.
yeah, but there was something funky going on last year where there were some rumblings that the Steelers was actually in talks with the Jets. The Jets was trying to trade Le'Veon last year going back to October, and they just didn't get it done. And it could have been the #1 landing spot then. I think this happens, and it'll be good for Le'Veon, it'll be good for football, it'll be good for us. You got to think about this. The Pittsburgh Steelers hasn't changed their identity in 25 years. They play zone defense, and they're a power O running offense. This fits Le'Veon. This fits what they're trying to do. There's some that says, man, if you turn on the film, you may not see the same Le'Veon. But one thing that doesn't really change much is your vision as a running back. You see Frank Gore. Frank Gore lost a step, but Frank Gore's feet and his vision is still premium. And LeVeon, just 2 years ago, was one of the most premier backs in the NFL. And then he took the year off, and then you saw Ezekiel Elliott take that spot, and then also Todd Gurley, and there was a couple others that emerged. But this guy can easily go in there and make an impact right away. I would love to see him in Pittsburgh. The only thing we're missing outside of, defense strapping it down in the secondary is Big Ben getting it done with the deep ball. He's been like 27% on like 20-something throws down the field. It's awful, but adding him could potentially help that.
Look, I'm an emotional guy. You know I want Gronk back. I want Brady back eventually, but I don't think I would do this, Nick. There's two ways to go. You can either, like, sharpen the sword. The Steelers are pretty good. But, look, the Steelers are pretty good. Like, let's get even better. Or, hey, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yes.
If it doesn't work out, and I'm Mike Tomlin, I'm like, oh, my goodness, I knew this was going to not work. Why did I do this? I think the Steelers are fine. I would not make the move, Nick.
I think so two things. One is I think the history's wrong. There was not some personality dispute between Le'Veon Bell and the Steelers. It was financial. It was purely that Le'Veon Bell didn't want to play another year under the franchise tag, wanted a boatload of money, and the Steelers smartly, it would appear, did not want to pay a running back a boatload of money. This was not the Antonio Brown situation, and we shouldn't compare the two. But I think Wildes is being a little disingenuous here. I think he's trying to be like, no, we shouldn't go to the Steelers. It's a bad breakup, all these things, because he knows where Le'Veon's going to go. Yes.
No, here's
and
why.
I know, too.
No.
And I'm premature.
No.
Wildes, I'm prematurely angry about it. Because in 3 weeks, the New England Patriots are going to have Cam Newton and Le'Veon Bell for a combined salary of like one Taysom Hill game check. And I'm going to lose my bleeping mind. Because there's no running back that would fit what the Patriots like to do, which is have a running back come out of the backfield, line up in the slot, or hand in the ball, than L. Bell. Wildes, you know that's what you're hoping for.
No, here's
that's
the
why
thing.
you're being like, no, don't go to Pittsburgh. Yeah, go ahead.
First of all, yes. If he wants to win, fine. If he's like, you know what, I need to get some W's under my belt, I need another ring, or his first ring, I'd be like, fine. But Brandon, I actually don't think it would be a fit. Same reason I might not think it's going to be a fit in Pittsburgh. It's like it feels like he wants a lot of carries to prove himself. If he never had a 100-yard game.
Absolutely.
So if we're not going to give him enough, then I don't think it's going to be a fit.
No, obviously he wants the ball, and he should get the ball, and that's why Pittsburgh makes sense. But you do have Connor, who's running the ball really well. He's averaging 4.9 yards a carry. But if that's Le'Veon Bell, off of his vision alone, that could easily be 5.5 yards a carry.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.